So when I did my FAQ the other day about my first week here in Japan, some people started to write in emails asking about what were some of the culture shock experience that I had when I first got here. So I thought today I would just go over a couple of those. First one was actually, I told you about how when I first got here in my first week I experienced an extremely bad sore throat, and I actually got a really bad cough, mostly because I just wasn't used to some of the germs. It's one thing you'll experience when you first come over here, and I think with any country that you would go to, is you're going to just run into new germs that you've just never experienced before because you've just never lived in that country. It's nothing you can really avoid, unfortunately. Plus, after being an excruciating 14-hour flight, I'm sure my immune system had been broken down a little bit. So pretty much my first experience that was really difficult was finding the correct medicine. Going to a drugstore and buying medicine. It's funny because the first thing I actually went to was a convenience store, thinking it would be like America and I could just drop in and maybe, you know, buy some Sudafed or something like that, or buy some Tylenol or Bufferin. But I found out there absolutely is no medicine in convenience stores. Now, soon they're going to start having them in medicine. They're soon going to start having medicine in convenience stores. It's something they're going to start very soon. But when I first moved here 3 years ago, it's completely uncommon. Tokyo's just starting to do that, and I think Osaka will probably follow suit because we're the next big city too. So anyway, I go into this convenience store and I'm asking for cough medicine. They have no idea what I'm talking about. My Japanese is absolutely horrible. I knew how to say cough, and that was about it. And I knew how to say medicine, so I just tried to put the two together, hope they understood what I was talking about. And they were just wondering why I would ever come there for medicine, because it's just not something they sold. So they tried their best to point me in the direction of a drugstore. Finally, I found a drugstore, and I went in there, and once again, I had to try and do my best with the very, very, very tiny bit of Japanese I knew. And it was kind of funny because I was trying to ask for cough medicine that wouldn't make me drowsy or wouldn't make me sleepy. And my Japanese was so bad at the time. All I could say was like, nemui, ie, nemui, ie. So pretty much, you know, don't try to learn this Japanese. It's not good. It's horrible. I was pretty much saying something like, sleepy, no, sleepy, no. So pretty much the guy, I mean, I don't blame him at all. I don't think he quite understood what I meant. And he did get the fact, though, that I was trying to get cough medicine, so he helped me out the best he could. And you'll find most stores you go to, Japanese people will try their best to help you out, no matter how bad the language barrier is. It's one great thing about this country, is they're very, very polite when it comes to customer service. It's customer service that you will probably never experience in any other country, by far the best. So anyway, this guy helps me out, he gets me in cough medicine, and the stuff really works. Japan definitely has some decent medicine when it comes to going to drugstores and stuff like that. And so I get this cough medicine, and I'm thinking, all right, he understood what I meant, you know, I'm using it, it's working, I'm not coughing. I go ahead, I head out to my job, and I am like this during my lessons. Barely able to stay awake. I mean, I wasn't really that bad where I was nodding off in front of people, but man, I was fighting to stay awake, and it was uncomfortable. Finally, I got home. I think I went to bed at like 5 o'clock that night, and finally I realized I had a friend who could read Japanese tell me that yes, I indeed did have the drowsy nighttime cough medicine that absolutely made me sleepy as all hell. And finally, he came and helped me get some medicine that, you know, I could stay awake while fighting this cold. So that was one of my first experiences. Alright, so my next experience is buying a phone. And this is a little bit of a tricky situation. I don't know if it's like this in Tokyo, so I'm only going to tell you this was my Osaka experience. Now, when you shop in Osaka, people haggle, okay? You can haggle in Osaka, okay? Now, if it's a big, you know, chain store like, you know, the equivalent to a Walmart or something like that, they're going to think you're a weirdo if you try to haggle because prices are set. But if you go to a mom and pop shop, you can haggle, okay? Now, when you go to cell phone shops here, it's really weird. In America, I think just about every place is going to have the same deal almost. Or if not the same deal, at least the same rules on how they would sell a phone. But for some reason, in Japan, or at least Osaka, the different stores you go around to have totally different deals. I mean, absolutely, completely different. The first store I went to, I'm not going to say what it was because I don't want to bash it. It's a pretty good store, but it was just this section, the cell phone section of the store. And the company I wanted to buy my phone from, when I first went in, I asked, oh, how much is it to start a plan? And the guy told me it was going to be over Q-mon N. Now, Q-mon N is about the equivalent to 900 American dollars. And I already knew some of my friends had gotten phones for free. You know, they had started their first plan, it was free to have the phone, and they didn't have to put any money down. They just had to keep paying for 2 years, okay? They had to have a 2-year plan. So I wondered, was this guy just pulling my leg, or what was going on here? So I was there with a friend, and my friend turned to me and just said, nah, no way am I going to pay that. And I thought, yeah, definitely not. So we walk off, and we go to another store, but it's the same cell phone company, okay? It's maybe only about 100 kilometers down the street. I mean, they're here in Osaka, you have them almost, you know, every couple 100 kilometers almost, it seems like you can walk to a cell phone company. So we go in there, we ask about the same phone, same deal, no money. Didn't have to put any money down. Not only that, they gave us a free phone, and my cell phone bill is super cheap. Now, mine, I don't know how I got such a good deal. I have no clue really, because I could barely understand what was going on with the plan. But I only pay 3,000 yen a month, which is like $30. Incredible, okay? And I put zero money down and didn't pay for my phone. So I almost had to pay $900 to have a phone. But in turn, I ended up getting a phone and a plan started for free, and then only paying 3,000 yen a month. Go figure. Okay, my last story is kind of a funny one, and it deals with getting a little bit lost while walking through Japan. I was just had recently moved into my second new apartment, and it was a lot better, a lot bigger. It had nothing to do with Nova. I was finally feeling free. It was decent-sized rooms, almost equivalent to an American-sized apartment. Really nice. And I'm just trying to check out the new area that's around it, and it's a really pretty nice area. I noticed there's a lot more older folks around, and so I'm wandering past all these different apartment complexes, and I see a really nice looking district. There's all these lights there, and there seems to be all these people in the street, and I'm thinking, wow, this looks really interesting over here. I'm going to go wander down this little alleyway down here. So as I'm wandering down there, I notice a lot of the Japanese people are inviting me and saying, oh, come on in, you know, irashaimase, you know, as they say in Osaka, telling me, come on, welcome, come on in, check this out, check out. But when I look in the store, there's absolutely nothing in the store. Nothing. I mean, just a totally empty store. There's flashing lights all around it, lots of posters inside, but nothing in the stores. And I'm wondering, what is this? What is this? Later, I told my friend about this and realized I had walked through the red light district. When you walk into these stores, they pretty much have giant folders full of pictures of girls, and you tell them what type of girl you want. They show you different pictures of who you can have, and you can then order that girl and have her for the night. So I had just stumbled into the red light district, and I was very, very out of place and a tad uncomfortable after I found that out. So that's kind of the funny story that I had. More of an interesting thing than anything else, but that's some of the culture shock I went through when I first got here. And you know, I'm not saying you're going to have these same exact experiences, but you're going to have your own unique culture shock experiences. Some will be fun, some will leave you with a great story, and some might be a little bit troublesome. So get ready for that, but you know, at the same time, don't get scared about coming to Japan. That's it for this FAQ. I'll see you next time on Unrested. In Japan, FAQ.